We're constantly told to recycle. It's drilled into us from a young age, and it's become second nature for many of us. It makes us feel better. We feel like we're doing our part to save the planet, one plastic bottle at a time, like we're solving a problem. We pat ourselves on the back, thinking we're making a difference, but here's the thing, plastic recycling? It's basically a sham. The reality is far from what we imagine. Yeah, you heard me right. The truth is shocking and hard to swallow. That plastic bottle you carefully rinsed and sorted, you might think it's being turned into something new and useful. There's a good chance it ended up in a landfill anyway. All that effort for nothing? Or worse, polluting the ocean. Our oceans are drowning in plastic waste, and it's a growing crisis. Turns out wishing our plastic problems away doesn't actually make them disappear. We need to face the facts. We need to talk about the hard truth of our plastic addiction. It's a tough conversation, but it's necessary. And trust me, folks, it's not pretty. The sooner we acknowledge the reality, the sooner we can start making real changes. We produce a staggering amount of plastic every year, like enough to circle the Earth 4 times. And guess what? Only a tiny fraction of it actually gets recycled. Let me throw some numbers at you. We're talking less than 9% globally. That's right, 9%. The rest? It ends up in landfills, incinerators, or pollutes our environment. Plastic takes hundreds of years to decompose, meaning it's sticking around for generations to come. We're literally drowning in our own waste. So, why is plastic recycling such a colossal failure? Well, for starters, it's complicated. There are tons of different types of plastic, and not all of them can be recycled. Even the ones that can be recycled are often contaminated with food or other materials, making them impossible to process. And let's not forget about the economics of it all. Recycling plastic is expensive, and often it's just cheaper to produce new plastic. So we end up with a system that's broken from the start. Section 4. The unseen impacts of plastic. Okay, so we know plastic is everywhere. From the packaging of our food to the toys our children play with, plastic has become an integral part of our daily lives. It's hard to imagine a world without it. But what's the big deal? Why should we be concerned about something so ubiquitous and convenient? Well, besides making our planet look like a garbage dump, plastic pollution has some serious consequences. It's harming wildlife, contaminating our food chain, and causing irreversible damage to ecosystems. Animals often mistake plastic for food, leading to fatal consequences. And it's not just the animals. Plastic is even messing with our hormones. Chemicals in plastics like BPA and phthalates can disrupt our endocrine system, leading to health issues such as reproductive problems and developmental disorders. Microplastics, those tiny pieces of plastic that break down from larger pieces, are everywhere, in our water, our food, and even in the air we breathe. These tiny particles are so small that they can easily enter our bodies and accumulate over time. The air we breathe is not spared either. Microplastics have been found in the dust in our homes and the air in our cities. This means that every breath we take could be introducing these harmful particles into our lungs. The long-term effects of this are still unknown, but scientists are working hard to understand the potential risks. What we do know is that the presence of microplastics in our environment is a growing concern. Experts are raising alarms about the potential health implications, and environmental activists are calling for urgent action. It's safe to say that the situation is not good. We're conducting a giant, uncontrolled experiment on ourselves, exposing our bodies and our environment to unknown risks. The results of this experiment are already starting to show, with rising health problems and environmental degradation. The evidence is clear. Plastic pollution is a serious issue that requires immediate attention. We must take action now to reduce our plastic consumption and find sustainable alternatives to protect our health and our planet. Section 5. Beyond the recycling bin. So what can we do? The problem of plastic waste is overwhelming, but there are steps we can take to make a difference. Well, the first step is to stop kidding ourselves about recycling. It's important, but it's not the whole answer. It's not a magic solution. Recycling alone can't handle the sheer volume of plastic waste we produce. We need to reduce our reliance on plastic in the first place. This means rethinking our daily habits and choices. That means saying no to single-use plastics, which are used once and then discarded. Items like straws, bags, and excessive packaging contribute significantly to the problem. Choose reusable alternatives whenever possible. Simple changes can have a big impact, and support companies that are committed to reducing their plastic footprint. Look for brands that prioritize sustainability. Remember folks, this isn't about being perfect. It's about progress and making better choices. It's about making conscious choices every day to break free from our plastic addiction. Small actions add up over time. The planet and our future depend on it. Together, we can create a cleaner, healthier world for generations to come.